Hello, hello, hello. It has been a minute, and yes, I know. I don't know the last time I did a video. I'm embarrassed to even go back and look to see the last time I did a video. So it's been a lot, and that is why I am here today to do an update. I have a list here. It's not a long list. Well, at least I don't think it's a long list, but just wanted to cover some things that I thought about putting in a video, but decided, well, I should say, thought about putting in separate videos, but decided to just throw it all in there. I think my last major video was on Wegovy and being on Ozempic. Well, actually, it was on being on Ozempic and about to go on Wegovy. Well, here's the update. Wegovy didn't end up, I ended up getting on Wegovy, but I only ended up getting on it for a couple of weeks via my doctor because the insurance was being a pain in the behind, which, as you know, if you are on it or trying to get on it, how much of a pain it could be to get it approved. So here we are, the end of March. I'm still fighting with the insurance company and still fighting with my doctor to do what she's supposed to do. And so I'm a little done right now. I'm a little done. But I did want to but I did want to fill you in on what happened after I got off of the Wegovy that I was only on for 2 weeks, because I thought this was interesting, and I'm curious if anybody else has gone through this. When I tell you, when I got off of that Wegovy, first of all, when I was on it, for some reason I was on the same dosage, the 0.25 that I was on the Ozempic. And even on the Ozempic, I noticed the difference in appetite. Like appetite went away on the 0.25. When I got on the Wegovy 0.25, and from what I understand, Wegovy and Ozempic are the exact same thing, exact same medication, except named differently because one, Wegovy is used for weight loss, and Ozempic is used for people with diabetes. Well, let me tell you, I got on the Wegovy. I didn't feel any different. Appetite really didn't go down or anything when I was on it. And the weirdest thing was coming off of it. So I stopped taking it after 2 weeks. I only had 2 weeks of a dose that she gave me out of the office because we were thinking the insurance was going to come through and she just wanted to give me something. I was like, fine. After the 2 weeks, I get off of the Wegovy and my appetite not only returns, but notches up. And I was like, what's going on here? Why is my appetite up? Like, whereas before, being that I'm ADHD, I know my appetite very well. I know when it's going to ramp up. It's usually around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But even still, before I got on the Wegovy, I was fine still. I was fine. I could still stay within my calories. I keep track of these things. I was good. And then after Wegovy, it was like I would eat breakfast like around 9:30. And by noon, in my brain, I was like, I kind of want something sweet. What's going on here? And I was like, what? No, we're not doing this. And so it has been a struggle the last, I'd say, month or so, trying to find a way to get the cravings back to the ADHD level. Forget anything else. I never thought about the fact that, I saw videos online where people said, oh, they gained the weight back and more if you don't stay on it. And so only when I experienced that and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not good. And people need to be talking about this because all you see is the people that have been on it for months. But, this is all new. And so I'm wondering what's going to happen when we look back in a year or 2 years when people who have been on it and then off of it longer term, are we going to have a bunch of people who, if they lose access to the medication because the insurance companies don't want to cover it anymore because they figure, well, you lost 50 pounds, you don't need it anymore, not thinking along the lines that this is a medication that you need to be on pretty much forever, like a blood pressure med. Your doctor doesn't take you off your blood pressure meds when you're on your blood pressure meds. You're on that junk till you die. you know People fiddle around with it, but then they realize what happens when they fiddle around with it. But the unfortunate thing is the weight loss medications are not seen like that yet. So you have insurance companies that are playing with people's lives and allowing them to get on for only a little bit of time, and then they have to get off of it, and then it's like, what's next is my thing. So it's like, if I saw that in 2 weeks, I feel for somebody who has taken the time to lose 50 and 60 pounds to watch them have to watch their appetite just fly off the roof. Worse than it was before they were on it. So I'm just like, be careful, people. Be mindful of that. I know a lot of you are excited about these new weight loss meds and stuff. And I still think there's a place for them. But I still feel like the insurance companies and the doctors have to catch up with the actual way that this medication needs to be taken. I know there are some doctors out there that are like, yes, we know that people should stay on this forever. But there's a lot of teaching that needs to be done on the insurance side, because the insurance companies, all they're thinking about is it's expensive, and all the drug companies are thinking about is how much money they can make, and people are losing out on something that could be great if they're allowed to be on it long term, like forever. So just want to bring that to the table and talk about that. Okay, next thing on my list. Oh, wow. So where do I begin? So back in, maybe this is like the end of November, December, I started to feel a little down. And that's normal. People feel down all the time, especially during the holidays. I usually don't feel down during the holidays, but I could not figure out what was going on. And so when I got to the doctor at the beginning of January, I talked to her about it. And so she said, let me test your vitamin D. Tested my vitamin D. I think my vitamin D level was 50, which is considered within the norm. Didn't think much about it. Fast forward, I'm talking to my ADHD nurse, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I've been feeling kind of down, and I don't know what it is. And he says, take vitamin D. And I was like, but I'm already taking it, and taking it meaning not taking a separate vitamin D, but taking a regular vitamin that has vitamin D3 in it. So I was like, oh, I'm covered. I got it. He was like, no. He was like, take a separate vitamin D on top of that. And so I was like, okay. He said, and then he mentioned the Happy Light too, and I was like, that's $80. Let's go with the vitamin D first and work our way up. And so, um, I would say a week later, after getting on the vitamin D, when I tell you my energy was back, like I was back to my old self. Even my friends were like, you are back to your old self again. Like, what is it? And I said, I think it's the vitamin D. According to the tests, I was normal, but clearly I needed more. And I was like, when I tell you it's the best thing I ever did was to get on vitamin D3 on top of the vitamin D that was already in my vitamin. It's been amazing, utterly amazing. I've been, working on YouTube stuff lately. I've been, and that goes into the next thing that I'm going to be talking about. But I've been learning how to do faceless videos, because there are just times I don't feel like being on video, and that's the only thing that stops me. Because I have tons of things I could talk about. I just don't feel like getting on video. I just feel like with women especially, we gotta like feel like we have to present a certain way to get on video, and if we're not in the mood to present, we're not gonna do it. The only place I don't see that pressure is TikTok. Which may be the reason why I like TikTok, is because you can come on there your dustiest looking self and drop knowledge and people don't care. But it's like certain other areas I feel like you can't do that. And so, and I think YouTube is one of them. And so I get into myself and I'm just like, I don't feel like getting on video. And so I started learning how to do faceless videos. And how did I learn how to do faceless videos? Let me tell you, this whole AI thing, I know you have to be living under a rock if you haven't heard about AI. I have been so into this whole AI thing, and because I'm a techie, I loved software. I know HTML. I'm an executive assistant, but I know software. I know technology like the back of my hand, and I probably should be working in the tech industry as like a person who designs websites, which I actually used to design websites in my 20s, so I know HTML, and I just love software and I love new stuff. And so when they first started talking about AI, I heard about AI a couple of years ago, but it wasn't where it is now. And so I wasn't really paying attention, but I was aware of it, but I wasn't sure what was coming down the pipeline. And when I tell you, I never expected all of this that is coming down the pipeline to be coming down the pipeline. When I tell you that the reason why I have been so productive the last month is because of AI, it's not even funny. Just learning ChatGPT, which is an AI, AI, what I don't even know what you call it. It's a site where you can plug in, like you have to have prompts, and that's a whole nother discussion where you can tell it what you want and it will produce it. I can take my resume, I can put my resume into ChatGPT, and I can take a job description, and I can get ChatGPT to revamp my resume to fit that job description. So when I tell you, like, it's life changing, it's life changing. And AI right now has blown up, and I've been telling people about it that I think are open to it, because there's always going to be people that will put something on the shelf until it's too late. But the ones I tell about it have been like, you mentioned this was going to blow up. And I was like, yeah, this is big. Now, on the other flip side of AI, it's a little scary because of the fact that, any too much of anything is dangerous, and AI included. And there are a lot of people talking about the number of jobs that will be obsolete because of AI. I should say, I have no doubt that some jobs will change, but they're probably jobs that should have been changing. And there will be a shift in what people are doing and what people do for a living. And I feel like there needs to be a shift in that as well. I always tell people this: if I could do it again, I would have been a carpenter or an electrician, because I wouldn't have had to go to college for it. I wouldn't have the debt, and I'd be making a lot of money. And it's one of those skills you cannot switch to. It's one of those skills that AI may be able to do parts of it, but there's parts of it that AI will not be able to really touch the way it will be able to touch a lot of the jobs in tech right now. So it's like, if I had switched careers and went to the tech side where I was like a programmer or something, unless I was a programmer that specialized in AI and machine learning and writing prompts right now, I would be a little afraid. And I started to realize why so many people on the tech side started to get laid off because of that. And being that I'm an executive assistant, I know it's coming. They're going to come for us because they've been coming for EAs. They've been coming for us. Everybody thinks they can do our job until they have to do our job. And so I say to anybody out there that is an EA, that they need to learn AI, and they need to learn all of the softwares that you can to make your job easier so that you can do other things. Or you need to be thinking about doing something else. I'm just saying, there's a lot out there that we can do. There's project management, there's always going to be other areas, but I still feel like people are still going to need executive assistants. Um, they're just going to be more high level. And so if you're a regular administrative assistant, I advise you to rev up them skills and get to high level. And getting to high level is not just about who you work for, but what you do at that level. There are some high level EAs out there that have not learned a single software in 20, 30 years, and they're going to be phased out because they're not prepared for the change. So I'm telling anybody in any field where they're talking about your job can be phased out, including recruiters. There are a lot of crappy recruiters out there right now. I'm telling you, I am so sick of dealing with recruiters. I'm job hunting myself, and I'm so glad that I'm not desperate yet for a job, because I've always been an entrepreneur and I can work my way through the world. But it's like, if you're not, and you need these recruiters out here, when I say there are some bad recruiters out there are some bad recruiters out there. And it's unfortunate because there are some good recruiters who are jobless right now because there are bad recruiters out there. And I'm like, if these companies don't stop hiring these bad recruiters to recruit for their company, because they're losing out on good candidates because of bad recruiters. So my thing is, yes, you will eliminate some jobs, but you will not eliminate good people who are in particular jobs. This isn't coal mining here. You're still going to need people to schedule things, do travel, and all of that. Can you do it yourself? Yeah, but do you want to? Why would you pay somebody who's your VP, who is sitting there spending an hour or two, doing their travel, or trying to schedule meetings with other execs? So you got the blind leading the blind. So as I said, there's going to be people that are going to put the scare articles out and say, oh, all of these jobs are going to be obsolete and this and that. They're not going to be obsolete tomorrow, let me tell you. And it always takes a shift for people to understand what they need. So they'll think they don't need you and they'll get rid of you until something backs up. And then they'll be like, oh, well, no, we need you. Yeah, we need you. So I'm just letting you all know AI is here and embrace it, but know that there's some stuff that you may fear, but you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Okay, so what else do we have here? So actually, I just started a new medication. Well, it's not a medication; it's an adaptogen, kind of like the mushrooms and stuff like that. And it's called Rhodiola rosea. I saw people talking about it on TikTok. You can learn so much on TikTok. If you are not on TikTok, get on TikTok because there's some trash on there. But if you get past the trash, you'll really learn that there's some other stuff out there that is really good, like interesting. So when I started seeing some doctors talking about this, I was like, I think I saw this before, but I didn't pay any attention. And sometimes that happens. There's too much going on in my brain. I set something to the side and then I circle back around. So that's what I did with this rhodiola. So I saw that it can actually help with ADHD. I've seen like people say how life-changing it is as far as cravings. And see, for me, it's the cravings thing. The cravings are worse than the concentration thing. I can concentrate to a point. It's the cravings that drive me up the wall. So in this case, being that, and did I tell you that the vitamin D helped with the concentration too? That too. I forgot to throw that in there with the vitamin D stuff that I talked about earlier. But anyway, back to the rhodiola. So I decided I was going to order some. So I ordered the rhodiola. I started using it yesterday. And it's 12:48 and I haven't really had any cravings. Like I'm good. And I'm just like, is this gonna be the thing to change the game changer for me for cravings? Please work. It's like, please work. That's what I want. I just want something that takes away the cravings. I don't even need all of the Wegovys and the Ozempics of the world if I can let go of get rid of the cravings. That's it. You know, give me this rhodiola thing, and if it works, oh, we gonna be best friends. And it's not super expensive either. I think I bought it. I bought the Bulk Element brand. I like their stuff. I've used other things for them. Their Lion's Mane, other things is great. And actually, I'm wondering now that I'm thinking about it on the video, if because of the fact that I'm also on ashwagandha, if the ashwagandha is working with the rhodiola, and working together and creating this like great space for me right now. Now, but the because I know the ashwagandha was not helping with cravings. It may have helped with anxiety and stuff, but I don't think it's helped with cravings. So I'll get back to you probably the next video to really let you know how this rhodiola is and actually give you more information on it. Because I think, did I have it on my list? I don't have it on this list, but I have it on another list to talk about. And I already wrote it up like on like specifics about the rhodiola rosea. So stay tuned. That is coming down the pipeline. I'll probably get on video for that. Just because I've been doing no face videos doesn't mean I'm not going to do these videos and get on video. Because some things are longer and I feel like it's better if I'm on video to do them. But the shorts really help my numbers. I am shocked by how many people watch my videos now because of the shorts. And so I'm like, I'm not at 1,000 yet. I'm not at 1,000 subscribers yet. But within the last, I'd say, month, I have maybe close to 40 new subscribers. So hello to the people who are new here. No, I don't just do shorts. But I'm sure you figured that out already. So stay tuned. I got a lot coming. A lot. I'm really trying to like teach a lot and teach people things and get out a lot of information that I've had but not been able to put out because AI is wonderful but scary. Okay, what's next, you say? What's next is I actually started a new channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it is I want it to be a channel that is extremely organic. And it doesn't mean that I don't really want you to see it. I'm still in the testing phases with it, trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Because this channel is so structured for me. My ADHD needs something a little less structured and a little bit more me. And in turn, I'm probably also going to be starting a podcast. I've been wanting to do a podcast probably before I started doing YouTube. Because as I said, sometimes I don't want to be on video. No. But with the podcast, I think it would be great because I can feel more like myself, don't feel like I'm being looked at, and I could just talk. And that's what I want to do. I just need to figure out where I want to go with the podcast, what I want to cover in the podcast. Do I want to talk to people, interview people on the podcast? I'm not sure. I wouldn't even mind doing the podcast with somebody else, because I bounce off of people really well. And don't be silly like me, because then it's really going to be on and popping on the podcast. So, I feed off of that energy. And sometimes I bring the energy. So, yeah. So, this is what's been going on. Job search, which I'm like, it's a crappy time to be looking for a job. It really is. But I'm okay. I'm working on stuff. I'm doing my YouTube, looking a little, doing some temp stuff. And actually, this is the happiest I've been in a long time. Happier than I've been when I've been in a full-time job. So sometimes it's a matter of pulling your life down to the simplest level to be happy. It's not about how much money you're making. I know that sounds cliche, but I am making less money now than I did before, and I'm happier now than I was before. And I am not in a rush to be in anybody's office, but I am looking. I am looking, but it's like but the funny thing is, I want a job that I enjoy as much as I'm enjoying my life right now. I don't know if that's out there. I don't know if companies like that exist anymore. You know, I am an executive assistant that doesn't like being boxed in, and a lot of people like to box in EAs. And so I always tell people I'm not for everyone, and I'll wait for the right job. And if things get that desperate, I'll go work at Amazon before I will walk into a bad executive assistant job. So, yeah, so that is all for now. We got some more stuff coming down the pipeline. I am super consistent lately, and I hope y'all enjoy this because, yeah, I've been real consistent and trying to make sure that I still watch. It's about quality, not quantity. I don't want to push too much out, even though I have a lot to put out. But just because I have a lot doesn't mean I have to put it all out. So I'm trying to slow myself down from this ultra energy that I have putting out videos and make sure that I'm still putting out quality ones, even if it's faceless. So just know that for every couple of faceless, you're going to probably get a face video. So I'm not going to quit doing that. And I have one more thing that I wanted to bring up to those subscribers that have been on been in the comments talking about. I remind them of Candy from Escape, and boy, has she been in some stuff lately. Boy, I'm like, wow. That is so funny, though. I have to say that y'all crack me up. Because I'm so used to being in the background, and I want people to focus on the what's going on in the video, and so I'm not used to being the one that people are like, "Hey, don't she remind you of?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" But I just think it's absolutely hysterical. I do have a sense of humor, and that can go off the scales at times. Yes, yeah. But anyway, that is so funny. I still don't see it. I don't hear it. I'm like, what is it? Is it the tone of my voice that reminds me of her? I don't know what it is, but y'all keep talking and enjoying yourselves at my expense. It's okay. But anywho, that is all for now. Hopefully I can get this up today because I'm not doing a whole lot of editing on this. What you hear is what you hear. And that's about it for now. And I hope y'all enjoy this. And there'll be some more videos coming. And I hope y'all have a great day. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I don't even want it to be the end of the year. I think we can do it before the end of the year. But it would be nice to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please hit the subscribe button and comment. Let me know what you want to see or hear or what you want me to talk about or cover because I'm on it. I'm on my game right now. So you better catch me now before I get real busy. Talk to you all later. Bye.